Hey, yo, what's going on, you guys? Tucker here, bringing you a brand new video today. Today we are showcasing my War Machine High Evo list, incorporating Goose as well as Hope Summers to get your Infinite out early into a Goose lane, or your Hulk out early into a Goose lane, or kind of skipping the magic kind of thing that you're able to do with She-Hulk and Infinite right now. I've been having a lot of fun with this list. War Machine is the brand new card that came out today as well. But yeah, let's get right into the deck over here. Here is the deck that we're going to be using today. The deck code will be down in the description below. As you can see, we're using Goose, we're using War Machine, we're using Infinite, we're using High Evo. But let's go ahead and break each card down individually. First and foremost, you got Sunspot here. Sunspot allows you to be able to soak up any energy that you do not spend on each turn. This allows you to get your She-Hulk to be reduced cost, as well as not making sure you waste any of that energy too, because Sunspot gets the absorption. Also really good with Hulk, because Hulk gets that +2 with the High Evo. So of course you just have Sunspot in here, also, especially with Hope Summers as well. Getting extra energy, you're not going to use your energy every single turn, so whatever even little bit that's left is great for your Sunspot soak. Of course, we have Nebula over here. I like having some sort of like control aspect to it and something you can tuck behind Goose. So your opponent can't really play big cards. They can only play small cards on that same lane. Of course, your opponent always has to account for Nebula as well, or Nebula is just going to scale up in power, and your opponent's not going to really have much to do about that. Next, we have Goose here. Goose is going to be your control card. So I'm using Goose in here instead of like an Armor or instead of like a Storm or like a Cosmo. I'm using this to protect our bigger cards, such as a She-Hulk, Hulk, or Infinite. And using it with War Machine, because War Machine does not allow, like, it makes it so your cards are not limited to where they can play. So you play War Machine on top of a Hope Summers. You can then tuck your Infinite behind a Goose. It's really crazy, and it's an awesome interaction to have too, instead of having to worry about your Armor or a Cosmo thing, and your opponent, the only way they would be able to do anything to those big cards or anything would be with Zabu. So if they're trying to do that with Zabu, you know, you just play your big card somewhere else, because they can't Shang-Chi everywhere, right? And then we got our Shocker here. Shocker's going to be another one of those cards that we're using to kind of energy cheat a little bit. If this hits a She-Hulk, it hits a Hulk, it hits an Infinite. This allows you, if you don't have a Hope Summers, to be able to play one of your bigger cards on 5. If they get hit by the Shocker here, or it allows you, if it hits the She-Hulk, to be able to play She-Hulk and Infinite down on turn 6 if you don't have Hope Summers interaction to be able to play on 4. It's a really good card to allow you to just enable you to your combos a little bit easier, instead of like a Zabu or a Vona or like a Sarah, because it hits one card specifically and you know what card that's going to hit always. Kyera is like another alternate line we have here in case you don't draw your Goose. You're dropping so many big cards here at the end, and you're wanting your 1-drops to get huge as well. So it protects you from a Killmonger interaction onto your Sunspot. It protects you from Shang-Chi onto your Infinite, your Hulk, or your She-Hulk. As a 3-drop too, it's really cool because it's universal. Allows you also to be able to play on some of these locations that automatically destroy your cards, such as Rickety Bridge. If another card is on the other side, it gets destroyed, or like Death's Domain, or even Altar of Death. Allows your cards just to stay alive, and it is really, really solid. Cyclops, what would High Evo be without Cyclops over here? So you're using Cyclops to make sure you're getting maximum usage out of any energy you're not spent, so you're going to be able to hit 2 other cards with his beams to negate their power. Really good, of course, with Sunspot, She-Hulk, Hulk, you know, High Evo. This is one of your main cards you're going to see in a High Evo list overall. Hope Summers, Season Pass card. This enables you to do some crazy things in this list, okay? It allows you to have extra energy to soak for your Sunspot and for your She-Hulk, to be able to play an Infinite and She-Hulk on turn 6 if you play a card on Hope Summers on turn 4. And with War Machine, if you play War Machine on Hope Summers on turn 4, that allows you to play a 6-drop wherever you would like on turn 5. If you want to play your Infinite, drop 20 power on turn 5, you can do that after playing just War Machine on Hope Summers. You could also do it to just float around. It's really, really solid. And this is just your curve ramp card. And with the High Evo list, it just works so, so well. High Evo, this is your enabling card. Enables you to do your Hulk thing. Enables you to do your Cyclops thing. If you had Wasp, if you had your other, you know, High Evo cards in here, we only have Hulk and Cyclops in here. We also have Shocker, so I guess we do have Shocker to also do some energy cheating too. But we only have 3 cards, but I think you still get maximum value out of High Evo. You don't necessarily have to have more than like 2 cards, I feel like, High Evo. You can even just do 1 with Hulk, depending on what kind of list you're playing. But High Evo, one of my favorite cards in the game. Very flexible, and one of the main, I guess, engines of this list, because it enables you to do so much. War Machine, our newest Series 5 card that just dropped today. There is no limit to where you can play a card here with War Machine. Yes, of course, four card spots. You can't put 5 cards into a lane. But this negates Storm. This negates Professor X. This negates Sanctum Sanctorum. It negates any location where you cannot play cards at the moment. If you need to play on Kylin on turn 5 or turn 6, you play War Machine on turn 4. It allows you to be able to play that on 5, and on 6 it would allow you to play the cards there on 6. It only works for you. It does not work for your opponent. This also negates any card text that is limiting as well. So it allows you to play your Ebony Maw, and allows you to play your Infinite as well. Really, really solid card here. Great card. Not necessarily a meta-breaking card, but a great card. And of course, we got the one and only She-Hulk. Another card that just fits so well in High Evo list. Whenever you don't spend energy, that that unspent energy goes to her cost. So it reduces her cost. So like great pairing with Sunspot, great pairing with Infinite, great pairing with Hulk. It's just another of those staple High Evo cards that you're seeing on this list. And you can use this also on a Goose lane. So let's say you don't get your War Machine down. You can still sneak a She-Hulk onto Goose if she is 3 or less costs. Hulk, +2 power with High Evo for any energy you don't spend. So this card can get big. This card can honestly get bigger than Infinite, depending on how your pulls are, depending if you have your Hope Summers interaction down and stuff too. Another card you could type behind Goose with the War Machine interaction. Just definitely a card your opponent always has to be wary about. They always have to calculate how big is your Hulk because you're playing High Evo. Another just absolutely fantastic card to have in this list. Infinite. So with Infinite here, we have him for any She-Hulk interaction we want to do on Hope Summers to allow them to play She-Hulk and Infinite on turn 6 because you'd be floating turn 5 after you play a drop onto the Hope Summers lane. Also, really awesome to be able to play after a War Machine. After a War Machine, you can play your Infinite wherever you would like, if you have the energy, of course. So you can tuck your Infinite behind a Goose, which is the main tech that we're focusing on here, or you can play your Infinite onto a Sanctum Sanctorum like we were talking about, or any locations you just can't get to. War Machine enables you just to be able to do so much, to be able to disregard his you can't play this unless you played since you played a card last turn kind of thing. But it works really, really well, and it's really fun to play, but just be able to be dropping big power everywhere. And that's going to be the gist of our card breakdown over here. Let's go right into some gameplay. Alrighty, we were heading into game number 1 over here. We got the Silver Samurai from our second spotlight earlier. So we got the Avatar. I absolutely love the Avatar. And now we're starting with a great curve up over here, honestly. We have Sunspot and we have Nebula. So something our opponent's going to have to account for. Anyways, they also got Sunspot for some Soak. Okay, heard. This could be interesting. We might be playing a mirror matchup in all seriousness. Excuse me. In all seriousness here, this could kind of be a mirror matchup. We'll see what happens. We do have Kyra on curve as well. With doing that, and that is going to enable us in case we do get some weird destroy card here on X Mansion to make sure we are okay in that situation. So he soaks, so we are going to have priority. That's pretty good. Maybe we get something kind of crazy here with our top deck. Wakanda. Okay, our Sunspot is safe. Sweet. Sweet. Okay, we do have Chakra on curve, which will be able to hit our Hulk. Okay, I like this. I like our starting point over here. It doesn't hit anything in the middle. That's to protect our Nebula. Storm. Okay. So we're gonna be doing some War Machine things, I bet, over here. Some sort of a mirror matchup is what I'd be seeing. Master Mold, not horrible. Get Vision. Of course they get Vision. Of course they get Vision. Okay, so we're going to be able to play Hulk early. We do have Hope Summers, which that's also pretty good for us. Let's see if we can get some craziness. They also have Hope. So they get to float a little energy. So their Sunspot's going to go up a 1. Ours goes up as well. Hulk we can play freely. We do have Infinite to mess around with. I'm thinking we might just go full float, so it's something they have to attest for here. They are going to have extra energy. War Machine, they can play wherever, so they can play Infinite. So this is definitely going to get a little crazy for us here. We have She-Hulk and Hulk, which is solid. I can play Hulk middle. And then he can play Infinite wherever he wants. I think he plays his Vision on the right, and he might play Infinite middle. Infinite middle, we're looking at What is that? He moves vision over. He plays Infinite left. Or he plays Infinite right. If he plays Infinite right, kind of got to mess around with this here a little bit. I think he just plays Infinite middle. I think that's what I'm thinking our play is Infinite middle. Or we just overcommit this middle. If he moves vision over, we still have a lot of power to work with. We should win this tiebreak. So I'm here for this. There's Infinite. Cool. Sweet. It was a 50-50, but we did our thing. We did our thing. Let's go. A good first game. See, the War Machine, honestly, is also a good little mix-up, too, so you don't know where your opponent's going to be playing their next card. So I'm here for this. I am here for this. Let's go. Still a nice little 4 cubers. All right, we're heading into game number 2 over here. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of mirror matchups with War Machine because the card just came out and everyone's been so hyped about it. But being able to play your Hulk early or be able to play like your Infinite early is like the main gist of what you're trying to do here. And we're getting some good stuff, actually. If we get a War Machine here, we can also play this into the vault. So that's one less thing we have to worry about there. So I like that. But yeah, like that interaction there, like what they were trying to do is, oh my word, good gravy. I mean, we don't get to necessarily do what we wanted to do there, but this is pretty good. Howard the Duck. Oh, he's cooking, huh? He's cooking. Cooking. Oh my word. Oh my goodness. I get to play Infinite early? Love that for us. If that's less than 20 power, we're cooking. Zabu? If they do Spectrum, Spectrum would give that 21 power. So I'm going to snap here. I get Infinite down, and I can play Nebula there. So that's going to be pretty spicy. We have a lot of power spread out over here.
Hello, can you understand me?
Wong. He can Wong Spectrum, so that is something I do need to worry about. That's entirely true. Wong Spectrum is not great. Not great. But if I do something like She-Hulk left, Spectrum would give this plus 16, right? So it'd be 31. So that beats Spectrum.
Hulk smash!
I think we lose to Odin, right? Odin beats us, maybe? If they're playing Odin on this. But they would probably snap back if they did the Odin interaction, right? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. They don't have the Odin.
Victory!
But we accounted for the energy there. And the plus. So that's why we doubled up the Hulk and Infinite on the same lane. Let's go. All right. Headed into game number 3 over there. I'm telling you, the War Machine interaction with Infinite works so well, and we got blessed with our locations there too. Being able to play the War Machine on top of the Hope Summers to drop Infinite down on 4. It's kind of crazy. And we keep starting with War Machine, so I'm glad we're actually able to showcase what we're doing with our interactions here. So this is really, really good. Okay, great Rebs. Maybe not our favorite, but we do have War Machine. If I can get something like a Hope, that's not bad. Armor goes to the middle. So Sunspot's going to be doing all right. I don't necessarily want to play Shocker here. We do have Hulk. I think we're just going to keep floating. We just keep on floating. We don't have Hope, so we don't necessarily have our ramp here. They have their ramp, though. Okay. And then I'm going to play Goose. I'm going to play Goose. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be that guy. in case they play like a Shuri, and then they can't play any other big cards because of Goose. Oh, let's go. They can only play a small card on top of Shuri, or they have to float for She-Hulk. Or they have to float for She-Hulk. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And then I'm gonna snap. I think we snap this.
Oh, snap.
They can't play their big card. Yep, perfect. That's why we have Goose. Goose counters the Sherry. So good. So freaking good. You love to see it. Love to see it. All right. Game number 4 over here. Getting that retreat was pretty funny because you can't do anything when Goose is there. Literally can't do anything. Deep space is kind of interesting here. We do get a little bit of shocker value. Just playing this onto the Chimera. So I do like that. Daredevil's a little cheeky. Okay. Cyclops. We do get an Infinite. So I like that. Groot.
I am Groot.
That's fine. And then I'll play some Chimera. I get some minus energy here, so I can play She-Hulk if I need to. Another Guardians is fine. I'm honestly not too worried about it still. He gets the draws, but Cyclops can still go off over here. I can play that middle, get a Hulk thing. I can get Professor X on the right and lose right, technically. Or I can get hit with Gamora. Gamora also is a thing. So I'm just going to play She-Hulk there. Professor X does kill me, which is probably what Kuzo plays. He probably snaps this and plays Professor X. If he has Professor X. If I don't have Professor X, this is just a bit of a pickle. But they don't get Gamora value. They just play Prof left, or they play Prof right. Or they play Vision. Vision's also a thing I gotta worry about here. So it's going to be interesting. That goes down 2, so that's 12. But he's also got to worry that I might also have Jeff. And with Jeff, I can kind of do a lot of things. So they're probably mathing out what we're trying to do in this situation. So this is going to be a little interesting. I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. But I do get the Cyclops proc. Star-Lord and Storm. Okay.
Wind, aid my hand.
So he does have priority. Does have priority. They do have to play a 50-50 now, though. If they hit a Gamora on the right, Gamora wins right. If they hit a Gamora on the left, Gamora wins left. Our best case scenario, we beat Doom. We don't beat Doom. We lose to Magneto. Okay, yeah, I was about to say.
Victory.
Because the way they played that, they had to guess on a 50-50, and they didn't want to guess on a 50-50. So that's how we do it. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. If you enjoy the video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the week. Tucker out.